Okay guys, this year's Evo Enduro 2019, we have these teams participating, and together with them, you will stand a chance to win a Proton X70, 38,000 ringgit cash. Yes, these are real money over here, and 2-person gets to win this, and another 10-person will be able to win 8,000 ringgit cash. All you need to do is just to buy their products from a minimum spending of 5 ringgit. To know how to enter, all you need to do is just to WhatsApp your receipt of your product and answer a simple question to this number. To understand further, go to this website to know about all these products and how to enter. Menang, menang, menang!
Menang!
Alright.
Again, Con?
Make noodle lah.
Hi guys, so stuck in a traffic jam somewhere around Ampang, and today, this is the week that the automotive world lost the great Ferdinand Piech, and it is rather ironic that it is in this very week, as we mourn the passing of this legend, that I am handed the keys to this 2 million ringgit automobile that, well, while Piech may or may not have had a direct involvement in creating, he was certainly instrumental in setting in motion the chain of events that made the creation of this car possible. Now, if we need to recap, back in the early 90s, Volkswagen was on the verge of bankruptcy, and in 1993, Piech was appointed CEO or chairman of the Volkswagen Group, and within the span of 5 years, he had turned Volkswagen from just being within 3 months of going bankrupt to actually knocking on the door to buy out Rolls-Royce and Bentley in a multi-million dollar deal. Now, there was this but this deal would probably be the one time that Piech was outsmarted by his rival, because, you know, after spending millions or hundreds of millions to buy the company and the factory, they realized that BMW had quietly bought the rights to use the Rolls-Royce brand. Yep. So all the technical know-how, all the engineering patterns and whatever from the previous generation of Rolls-Royce models, Bentley models, are all in the hands of Volkswagen. But the Rolls-Royce logo itself, the rights to use the Rolls-Royce brand, well, that has been divorced and in the hands of BMW. But still, all being said, I think it does not detract from the story that how, you know, in such a short frame of time, Piech was able to effect such a massive change and transformation in the fortunes of the Volkswagen Group, and you know, having acquired Bentley, they have managed the brand well enough that now Bentley is doing rather well, and have in its portfolio a range of admirable products. So previously we drove the Bentayga, very fine luxury SUV. In fact, my verdict at that time was that that was really an SUV that, a luxury SUV that, where is the parking sensor? Okay, so that was a luxury SUV that really can be used for all occasions. You can use it for your day-to-day chores, even go to the pasar malam for that matter, send your kids to school. You can turn up with that in your business events at a hotel, you know, or one of those high society balls, or you can even take it maybe on a well, toge run to chase down some supercars every once in a while. Not that I recommend that, but you can. It is a car of remarkable talent. Now we come here. Today we are driving the Continental GT. This car similarly has a W12 engine, 6 liters, 620 horsepower, 920 newton meters of torque. So yeah, no shortage of power. But you know, immediately the few kilometers I've driven this car, well, Trip Computer says 9 kilometers since I picked it up from the Bentley showroom. Immediate impressions is that this car, you know, if you were to say that Rolls-Royce is, the focus of Rolls-Royce is to give you the focus of Rolls-Royce is to give unrivaled levels of comfort to the point of isolating you from the exterior totally. Bentleys, the philosophy behind Bentleys would be that they make the business of going fast as easily and as comfortably as possible for the driver and the occupants of the car. So this is a car that, yes, in the traffic jam, you will happily just roll along, you know, engine does not kick up a fuss, very comfortable, very quiet, very refined. Then once your mood kicks, you know, once you've got a bit of mood for more aggression, right? That is when the car responds in kind and really tickle your senses. So the thing that I observed thus far is that this car actually has a chassis of very, very wide talents. I wouldn't say chassis actually. The overall underpinnings, the whole package of the engine, the transmission, the drive line, the chassis, it is all packaged in a way that this car is just so multi-talented. So if you so much as fancy as an exuberant run on the back roads of Uluyam or Genting, this car will do it together with you. There is that flow in that chassis, there is also that level of communicativeness that you know what's going on with the car. It does not isolate you from the surroundings the way a Rolls-Royce does. What it does is that it gives you just enough feedback to let you know, hey, what's going on outside, but it is still extremely plush and comfortable at the same time. So this is a car that is really engineered to be able to rival the very best in terms of sportiness, yet at the same time be unrivaled in delivering comfort. So this really is a go-fast car, a coupe, a luxury coupe that you can conceivably use on a day-to-day basis. And that 6-liter W12 engine up front is just so smooth and so effortless in its power delivery. You barely have to exert any effort. Another little thing about Ferdinand Piech is that he's always fancied large engines. He likes large engines because back in the 30s, his grandfather Ferdinand Piech actually successfully developed a 16-cylinder racer for Auto Union, and our friend, when he probably grew up inspired by that, and he also had always had this ambition of developing his own 16-cylinder vehicle, an ambition that he eventually fulfilled with the Bugatti Veyron and its W16 engine. So this W12 engine here somewhat traces its roots to that. Now, okay, I do have to point out one thing about this car. The overall build quality is fantastic, except for one. Somewhere inside here, there is a rattling panel. Yeah. Somewhere in there, something is rattling. But everything else, no fault. Panel gaps, all consistent. Materials, very plush. Just as I noted when we reviewed the Bentayga, there isn't an acre of exposed, unpainted metal or cheap plastic that you can find here inside this car. Now, but the other thing about this dashboard here, I have to also point out is that the usage of this piano black trim. Have one of these in handy, okay, if you spec your Continental GT with this, because they smudge rather easily. So yeah, I would strongly recommend that you look through the options list. Maybe go for one of those open pore wood trims or that kind of thing that do not stain so easily when you touch them. But really, man, this is such an easy car to live with and go fast in. You know, you don't even, I can't think of any occasion when you drive this car you actually need to use the full length of travel of your accelerator pedal, because the way this engine delivers its grunt, its speed, it's just so refined, so effortless, that with barely any effort, you are just leaving every car behind. You're just leaving everybody else behind. And I think the whole time that I'm having this, I don't think I've even revved it past 2.5, 3,000 RPM, because there simply is no need to. There simply is no need to. And once you don't think of the fact that you are driving a 1.92 million ringgit car, this is actually not an intimidating car to drive at all. It's just so easy. It's a car which you can go very fast in, but without ever feeling on the edge. Like just now, earlier on the highway, as I was driving and I was talking to you right now, there was an E46 M3 CSL around my peripheral vision, which the car has gone very fast in. But even knowing the fact that I have far superior firepower under my bonnet, I was not at all inclined to tekan and show the fella who's boss, because I am just here right now wrapped in my extremely serene and you know and peaceful cocoon, that I'm content to go at my own pace. So the Continental GT, really, this is not a car that tickles your senses in the tradition, in a balls out driving kind of way, but really this is a car that gets you going to places very, very quickly, very, very effortlessly. And it is just a very talented, a very capable, a very pleasing companion that if you are looking for a ride to shorten those 300-400 kilometer commutes, this car would do a fabulous job at that. Guys, remember we are giving out a Proton X70. So remember, just spend 5 ringgit of stuff from any of the participating Evo Enduro racing teams, and you stand a chance to win a Proton X70 or 38,000 ringgit cash or 8,000 ringgit cash, that kind of thing. Okay, so support Malaysian-made products for this special Merdeka month and Malaysia Day month, and you stand a chance to win great prizes.